Good audio stays good no matter how long, and although the Supermix 4 is still most definitely capable, especially in gaming, I think it's just mid. Like, after daily driving it for nearly 2 months, I think Soundstage isn't as in your face like most IEMs are, but it's no longer an outlier. Imaging is accurate in both R6 and Valorant, but it's no longer like one of the best ones, like top 5. Then bass is substantial, mids aren't too behind, and I get a detailed overall listening experience, but it doesn't really excel at any one thing specifically, nor does it give a wow factor, which makes sense as the tuning here targets, well, what most people on average finds good or at least acceptable. So despite these being sent to me by Simgot themselves, I'm not really convinced to recommend the Supermix 4 to anyone at $170 or 10,700 peso price tag, because I truly think it's at the epitome of midness, which isn't always a bad thing given that sizing is pretty close to the average. On top of this, having a resin shell for the part that actually touches your ears, then faceplate here is this minimum black and bronze finishing, so I'll be hard pressed to find anyone really who think this is like going to be uncomfortable, or at the very least like who think this is going to be ugly. As for what you get inside of the box, I think this was alright like 2 years ago, but now it's just sad. It's got your typical small, medium, and large size ear tips that are of decent quality, plus there's also the pocketable case that offers crush and scratch protection, along with the stiff memory holding and noisy when walking cables that honestly look really good when you're just sitting around with it, but it fails the moment you do decide to, well, do anything with it besides gaming, which is where this excels. Before that, however, I want to talk about the Koni Audio and their ensemble cables. They offer this thing in like nylon, silver, and copper versions with multiple termination plus length options, so you can choose which one is going to be the best fit for you. Then, given their proprietary MCS stack for modularity, you can simply hot swap between the terminations while keeping your collection pretty much organized because it's quite short. Now, given the steep price, well, they're giving you guys 10% off any purchase when using code LesModio 10 at checkout. So hey, links in the description to learn more. And now let's talk about gaming and technicals. I think it should be public knowledge that the implementation of drivers plus the tuning is what's going to make this thing work, where the SM4 has a single dynamic, balanced armature, microplanar, and piezoelectric driver configuration on both sides, which isn't really indicative of quality like the amount of drivers on either housing unless tuning works with it. And it does. Since these uses the dynamic driver for the bass, balanced armature driver for the mids, then treble to air is handled by like the microplanar plus the piezoelectric driver, with crossover points being pretty much unnoticeable. There's basically no smearing or bleeding, which benefits the perceived technicals by a lot in all four categories, such as soundstage providing an above average perception of distance, imaging providing an accurate direction for pretty much everything like happening all around me, whether it's front, back, up, down, or whatever. Separation is very clear cut in between sound cues, then detail retrieval provides a good distinction for the minor nuances of a game or mix without completely like taking over your attention span. Now, in hindsight, this sounds like a really technically capable IEM. And it is. Like, I find it really good for stuff like Valorant and R6 because despite the amount of things going on at once with abilities, gunshots, and pretty much everything else, I'm never really lost in either of those two titles. I can say that it's still just as capable as any other IEM on my list for Valorant, in the sense that when I hear something there, I know that I can trust it and extract a lot of correct information from it. Then when talking about Rainbow Six Siege, well, this is still one of the better IEMs I've tried in a long time, where despite IEMs not really being as good as headphones for this particular title, I don't really find the need to switch over to something like the Aethers or the CJ20 because these offers a similar enough performance for me, with sound cues above and below not being as accurate as the Aethers for R6 specifically, but there's still definitely no slouch. That said though, the reason why I'm using words like still just as or one of the better IEMs that I tried is because when talking about a Valorant, well, I place this thing at number 10, not because this is bad, no, but it's simply due to Valorant's sound engine being able to work with anything that pretty much plays left and right, and IEMs do that, and a lot of IEMs that came out recently does this extremely well. So it simply got left by the times, so to speak, but it's still really competitive. Then on the other side with R6, although I haven't really done an in-depth like head-to-head comparison for that game, unlike my 30-day stream for Valorant, let me know if that's something that you want. Comment it down. Well, R6 is a game that requires a good soundstage to know what's happening above and below me without any sort of like confusion, and for that game specifically, the Super Mix are still one of the better IEMs in my opinion due to their no-frills approach in terms of tonality, plus an above average soundstage, but well, what really gets them is the fact that it pales in comparison to recent releases for like planers and more gaming focused releases like the Arati 2. And I would also say that although the SM4 are still better than a lot of IEMs like the Daybreaks for R6, well, the Daybreaks are still more than good enough for that game specifically, on top of providing an arguably better sound, like a more enjoyable sound at least. Then again, when talking about perceived technicals in relation to gaming specifically, the audio engine is really what's going to do most of the heavy lifting here, where if it's bad, better IEMs or even better headphones won't be able to fix it. And I would also say that beyond technicals, the Supermix 4 just doesn't do it for me, where since these are the de facto Harman 2019 IEM, well, Graph would suggest that these has a good amount of bass that you can actually feel through the sub bass, a less punchy but more controlled mid bass and lower mid, so no room for muddiness given the tuning plus the driver configuration, which means also like more punchiness potentially and more fun without being overbearing. And then mids to upper mids peak at roughly around 2.8k Hz, but it gradually like rolls off, so this should in theory objectively mean that less people would find the IEM to be shouty or fatiguing. As for the treble to air regions, the microplanar plus the piezoelectric drivers handle this part of the frequency response, which is why it appears to have a good treble extension that also contributes to the technical performance of the SF4 while also contributing to the sounding like potentially thin in some sounds or songs. And sounding thin, it does. Like, it doesn't reach the point of being lifeless or soulless since there's still a substantial amount of bass. Like, I like the bass of this thing, but that treble extension definitely makes songs like a Likey, for example, or New Genesis to sound thin and peaky enough to call it out, making it less than ideal for K-pop and J-pop, but not really bad for said genres. As for the bass of this thing, well, this didn't really come off as anything noteworthy for me, where tracks that are supposed to be really like bassy is just bass. Like I didn't find it to be lacking, so to speak, but it's also not abundant in a lot of cases, and it simply comes off as good quality plus decent quantity. And then, as I mentioned a while ago about the mids as well as the vocals not really being too behind of the mix, well, I find that vocal-centric songs just like Adele's Hello or Iris by Goo Goo Dolls doesn't really become uninteresting, but it also doesn't come off as natural or like forward or even correct, so to speak, like the Daybreaks or the Zigat Large, since I'm always looking for a bit more warmth here and there while simultaneously also not really lacking anything. I guess what I'm trying to say here is I don't think that the SM4 would be like anybody's special little flower, but I also don't think it's going to be hated for like any particular game, song, genre, or any use case for that matter. I'll say that this is truly super mid with a dash of shimmer and sparkle. That's biggest purpose behind gaming is to be a really good reference to how a neutral, bright-ish Harman IEM should sound like. Then because of the nature of the Supermix 4 being good for stuff like editing and serving as, again, a reference, I think that this having a very low 7.2 ohm impedance and a high 120 decibel sensitivity is just right, since you can probably run this off of 3 potatoes, look it up by the way, making it perfect for mixing and editing as it really won't be picky with the DAC amp that you use with them, while also not having a varying tonality based on volume, where making the volume like slightly louder or quieter won't make it peakier or warmer respectively due to how little voltage and current the SM4 actually needs for you to drive it. Then when I go through stuff that are going to lie within the same price range as this thing, I think that if you you want something way more technical, like extremely technical, then has the widest soundstage I've ever heard in an IEM, which is also really good for R6, go for the KBR's Aethers. If you want a warm yet technically capable while still being a versatile set without sacrificing the fun in listening, go for the Cranier Daybreaks. Then if you want a properly neutral or a reference to the new meta set, go for the Zcat Lush. But if you want a good reference to the Harman 2019, has good technicals without really shoving it to your face, solid for stuff like Valorant and R6, god tier comfort and isolation for commutes, and something that can be tossed up as neutral, balance, or mid, as in like room temperature water type of mid, yet somehow still fun and energetic in some genres, then I think that the Simgot Supermix 4 is still worth it with an asterisk, assuming that it's on sale. Then, given my experience and time with SM4, I place these at B plus tier, and I'm calling it as the 10th best IEM for Valorant specifically, with the tier list down in the description. I also want to thank the folks who support me at the train tier, namely Chop MOG, Dubs, CJ Gang 423, and Humbleshore. That's the Supermix 4, and if Siege is your game, then this is going to be the review for you.